June 2023 is a much easier month. The energy is definitely shifting. We're going to have some relief. You'll feel more hopeful. Uh, Jupiter and Mercury are moving away from Rahu, the magician, in Vedic astrology. And so our decisions, our agreements are going to be easier. Travel will be easier. You'll just be able to move forward. Things will move quicker, less complication, and this will be a great month for communication in general, a great month for business and making new decisions and moving forward with those new decisions and entertaining new ideas, connecting in with family. Venus is going to be in Cancer. So our leadership, we're going to want to be leading with our new ideas. It's a wonderful shifting energy from the eclipses that we have been in, and you're going to feel like that, that new start maybe that you felt with the new moon that just passed, that you're actually going to get moving with it as we come into June. Hi, I'm Prema Gurreri, and welcome to Chart Your Path. I am so glad that you're here. I appreciate you liking, if this is resonating, sharing, and if you haven't subscribed, my goal is 5,000 subscribers for my next goal, and I so appreciate you being one of them. So thank you so much for being here. This is Vedic Astrology, the sidereal zodiac, and if you don't know what your ascendant is, because you want to know what your ascendant is, or you can look from your moon sign, but I would say read the chart from your ascendant. The moon is more how you feel about things. Go to my free chart calculator. You'll also get a lovely guide that'll tell you about the different houses of your Vedic astrology chart. So the link is down below for that as well. And I will be holding a full moon healing circle on June 2nd. And I hold those every month. And the link is down below for that as well. So with the energy of June, in the first week of June, the Jupiter, Rahu, the teacher and the magician in the Sacred Wealth Code Archetype system are going to be moving away from one another. The conjunction was on, depending on when you're watching this, May 26th. And that conjunction I've talked about a lot and talked about it in the May update, so you can tune into that. But just the basics of that is the magician, Rahu, creates a knot of complication. Jupiter and Rahu are the most expansive energies. Together, their conjunction and them together create a Guru Chandala Yoga. And it's not all bad by any means, but the shadow side of this is too much complication, too much hubris, and too much expansion. This is where the eclipse pattern happened in Aries. And so there's been so much happening in this part of the chart. It's been a confusing period of time. Use this energy creatively. You will still have the essence of this energy through November until the eclipse pattern shifts to Pisces and Virgo. But you will have these two planets moving away from each other after the 26th of May. And by the 5th of June, they'll be a degree away from each other, which is really useful to have them getting some separation. Then we can tell what each energy is on its own. And instead of feeling the energy, they're coming together, we'll feel that separation, which is good. That's a good thing, okay? Now, the Guru Chandala Yoga it's not good. It's just, it can show up in a lot of different ways. And Rahu, the north node of the moon, brings things unexpected. So drama will start to clear up. Complications in general will start to clear up. But meanwhile, this isn't a place where we're all birthing something new. So lean into your creativity. That's the default here. Think out of the box. Get creative with what's coming at you, but also just get creative in general. And that energy will help to bring out the best in this energy. For the entire month, we have Mars and Venus in Cancer. Mars will move at the very end of June into Leo, but it'll be in Cancer. Now they are Venus is behind Mars. Mars has been there for a while. And let's remember, with Cancer, this is our sign of family and home. And Venus is our planet of love and of wealth and of relationships. This is where we like our luxurious things, and it's, Venus is about beauty. Venus is our great connector and our great artist. And in Cancer, about home and family, this is where we can, bring that connective energy into our home environment, our closer, familial type relationships. We're going to want to connect in. So make time for home and family, time to just relax and enjoy and connect deeply. This can be an emotional energy, of course, Cancer can be, but underneath all of that is devotion. It's the energy of the heart. And so I have a training in my solutionary blueprint called Managing Your Emotions, or Mastering Your Emotions so they don't manage you. And so we can use our emotional energy is the vibration that helps create what it is that we want to or are unconsciously creating. But this is a powerful placement to get really conscious about what you are creating on an emotional level. What are you devoted to around home and family? And of course, whatever Cancer represents for you in your chart. Mars being there is that masculine energy. That's the honorable warrior, which is technically debilitated here. It does not do well in Cancer. It's been there for a little while. My same advice, as I said last month, holds true. Sweat, exercise, spiritually disciplined. That's what Mars is really good at. It's exalted in Capricorn right across the zodiac. And so Mars wants to be productive, likes to be passionate. If it's not, tends to be pissy. So that, if you're Aries ascendant or moon, or Scorpio ascendant or moon, or you have a strong Mars, like Leo's, Mars at this time through June, just watch out for, fights and arguments. And it's better to, be as disciplined as you can and give yourself a sense of productivity by checking things off your list, even if things don't feel as productive. Mars will move at the end of the month. It'll go through Gandanta on June 30th and June 30th, July 1st. And that's where it's going to move from a water sign to a fire sign. And that's where we have that knot of complication. Those couple of days, take a major chill pill, okay? Because things could, you can feel it's kind of disempowered during that time. It's a great time to do clearing processes. It's a great time to, there's just these karmic knots, these shadow things that want to come to the surface and be resolved. But then Leo is where Mars is going to get strong. It hasn't been strong since earlier in 2022 before it went retrograde in Taurus. This is going to be great for getting our mojo back, passion, feeling productive, and and it's going to be a great leadership energy. But that will be happening in July. I'll talk about that more next month. On June 3rd, at 18 degrees of Scorpio in Vedic Astrology, in the nakshatra of Jyesta, we have a full moon. Now, this is a deeply transformative full moon. I will have another update for you that'll be just about the full moon. But just in a nutshell here, it's Scorpio, it's psychological, it's deeply transformative. This is going to help us to open up and some of our old traumas and patterns and hidden beliefs that can hold you back from really accessing your courage, your confidence, and your deep wisdom can surface during this full moon, because it's a full moon that is technically debilitated. The full moon, of course, is when it's opposite the sun and it's reflecting the light of the soul of the sun. But the moon is your consciousness, and this is deeply inward transformative consciousness. We'll be shining the light within. It will help us to potentially really allow you to, rise from the ashes like a phoenix and really embrace what's that up level, what's that higher potential for you. I, again, will bring you another update. I'll be going into this deeply. We'll be healing these things and stepping into the next level in the full moon sacred healing circle that I teach monthly around the full moon. And the link to that is down below. I encourage you to come and join me. They're incredibly powerful, transformative, and everyone who registers gets the replay. So Mercury is, at the time of that full moon too, is going to be conjunct Uranus in Aries. And so there also will be this, sudden insights that can drop in during that time. So just stay tuned to that. On June 7th, Mercury in Vedic astrology is moving into Taurus. Now that's Venus's sign. It's a sign of a friend, and we're really going to be able to access our better communication, our practical, grounded problem solving now that Mercury will be away from Rahu, the nodes of the moon. The communication will just be more direct and clear and grounded. Business can move forward because this is also the merchant. Mercury does well in Taurus. Taurus is very much about wealth. If you don't know what your Sacred Wealth Code is, I have those reading links down below. And as well, you could get a free archetype by taking the Sacred Wealth Code quiz. This is going to help you to get new ways to create wealth. And, this is making communications and decisions based on our values. Taurus is about security and stability. And so our communication and our choices and decisions will have an underpinning in our values that create security and stability for ourselves. So this is going to feel much different. And travel will be easier too during this time. And then Mercury will move on to Gemini after this, and that will be even more so powerful because Mercury owns Gemini. Now, I'll talk about that in just a moment as I go sequentially through the month here. But, your business ideas, you can really start to move forward with some of these things that you just haven't been able to focus on. With Mercury, we haven't had a lot of focus with Mercury being with Rahu, the magician, the north node of the moon, and the eclipse pattern. It's been kind of challenging. So that's going to be great. That's going to loosen up things and bring in some clarity. And who doesn't like clarity? Clarity is power. On June 15th, the sun moves into Gemini. Now, again, this is Mercury's placement of communication. This is business placement. But, Gemini is the place where we want to have fun and be social and communicate. And the sun there is our great leadership energy. So really leading with our ideas, with our communication, we'll be able to feel just more expressive and curious. This is a place of, experimenting with our ideas and and curiosity. With curiosity, we need to experiment. We'll have the freedom to do that. Mercury is not outcome oriented, not to say that we don't get to outcomes with decisions and with communication and with Mercury's energy. Mercury is about process. And so with Mercury, we have the liberty of going through the process and discovering what we discover along the way. And communication, a lot of communication is about process. Black and white thinking, when we try to use Mars for communication, it's very masculine, nothing against the masculine. We do need yes and no sometimes. We do need that directive, kind of directional energy. But in communication, a lot we need to connect and toss ideas around, and this will give us ability to lead with that and sharpen our minds, and or we'll just experience our minds being quicker and sharper. And this is great for business ideas and great for quick decisions. So you'll want to share those business ideas and move forward on some of them. So excited for this time with the sun moving into Gemini. And then on the 17th, and the 18th in some places, but in Pacific time, it's the 17th, at 2 degrees of Gemini in Mrigashira, we'll have the new moon. So that'll be the new beginning, the new reset, as far as some of these new ideas go. So that's a very potent, powerful new moon for a new beginning. And I will bring an update for that specifically. On June 17th, Saturn is going to retrograde at 13 degrees of Aquarius, and it'll retrograde until November. So here's the deal. Saturn retrogrades like 5 months out of the year. So this is nothing new for us. It is most impactful when it is going, the month it goes retrograde and the month it goes direct, because it slows down and it stations. And that's pretty much what we're feeling now. So the things that Saturn represents for you, the house it represents in your chart, but overall it's a karaka of work It's of discipline, of doing the right thing. Saturn has those sort of checks and balances on things. In Aquarius, I've been talking so much about this year with Saturn in Aquarius, which it'll be for 2.5 years, that it's really around our social dharma and connecting in with the others, the communities that can help move our social purpose forward. I talk about all the 2023 updates in my Divinely Aligned training. The link to that is down below, and we're halfway through the year, and that's half price. It's not a very big investment at all, and you can look back and reflect on some of the things that have happened already, and there's plenty that are still here to happen that will be useful to be informed of. It'll connect a lot of the dots for you. So as Saturn goes retrograde in Aquarius, and whatever Aquarius represents for you, and just think about your social dharma, it's going to give us an opportunity to take a closer look at some of those things, make some refinements and adjustments before it moves forward in November. So you'll feel more of the impact of that slowness, and Saturn's slow anyway, in the month of June. Well, sort of now until, I'd say between you're already feeling it mid-May, through mid-June, and then in November as well. So that's an energy that's going to be going on for a while in the background, and like I said, we're used to it. June 24th, Mercury moves into Gemini with the Sun, creating a Buddha Aditya Yoga. And this happens often because Mercury travels very close to the Sun, but it's a mental brilliance, and especially in Gemini, because Mercury owns Gemini. And this is a place of again, our mental brilliance in many ways. It's Gemini's own Mercury's own sign of Gemini. So it's very strong here for our curiosity. It's going to really amplify our mental alertness, our communication, our quick decisions, writing, putting ourselves out in the media in various ways, whether you're making videos or social media or getting on interviews, whatever that might be. It will sharpen your communication and thinking, but also this is, again, about tossing ideas around and being curious and creative, and around business as well. So very powerful with the Sun here also. It's great for business, really great for business. So, you want to move forward on those business ideas. You're going to be sharp in your thinking and your communication. You're going to want to have fun with people. You'll want to entertain and share ideas and get creative about things. And I encourage you to do that. The great communicator and the great merchant. So a couple of really great aspects for moving things forward, both on a communication and a business level. And if there's something you've been wanting to write, you're going to feel like you can do it. And that's a beautiful thing. On June 30th, as I talked about, Mars will go into Gandanta. I talked about that with the Mars update. And you'll just want to watch out for your being emotionally irritable during that time. And again, that energy is strong for just this Gandanta, these karmic knots, these emotional triggers that come up to the surface to be untied. So a great time to do any clearing work, a great time to do any clearing processes. So I so appreciate you being here. Please leave me a comment. Let me know what's ringing true for you, what you're noticing about what's going on for you, and what you're anxious to get going with as the energy shifts. If you haven't already subscribed, liked, or shared this, I so appreciate if you do. And again, all the links to everything I mentioned, including all of my readings, classes, and courses, are down below. All right, so much love to you.